Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
Attention gamers, every new season Riot Games goes through their yearly scramble fest to find something to freshen up this piss pit of a toxic tilt fest they as a company talk about like it's a game and we as players talk about at our Addicts Anonymous meetings, and there's always a gray line between change being hard and them just implementing dog water awful new crap as they either introduce a new aspect to the rift that makes games more unbalanced than a drunk parakeet with an amputated leg while other changes are so bad that they are literally resorting to banning players for trying them out. So then they fall back to this psycho cycle where they take the candy away then give it back every few years to make them appear like they are changing the game while really just recycling old ideas, which incidentally is also how you become a lead YouTuber. But anyway, Shojin is back, the CDR beefy boy, make me run faster when I'm about to die monstrosity, and everything about this old item makes the heart stuck ADC inside of me think it would bring back lethality marksman. So full disclosure, this video started with me wanting to shoot Cupid's arrows up all sorts of asses, but a combination of events related to my pipe having a fetish for overextending worse than a dislocated elbow, and then responding to 4-person ganks by pacing around in the danger zone like he has some weird reverse pee-shy condition where he can only piss if it's in front of a crowd. Which had me scrambling more than the board game paired with a run-in with one of Riot's actual new items, which as I stated earlier yields some slight balancing issues to the point where big-ass trolls can build one tank item and become invulnerable, and we were crafting the recipe for tilt. Throw a late game Vagar into the mix and I was having second thoughts on this idea and ready to bring back an old meme, Shojin time. But considering it scales with bonus AD and movement speed, I actually think it'd be the peanut butter to counting Dracula's jelly, so all I had to do was figure out what other items I would be building. Like finish off the build with 5-star boots and gloves, and you're probably thinking damn, this looks more like Raid Shadow Legends than League, but Rab's newest champ Gordon looks like he's about to destroy everyone. Today I want to talk about 3 reasons why you should give the Rady Shady a quick try. Starting with numero uno, it hits home in the need for every little boy and girl to grow up and build a collection of something. For example, look at all the champs I've gotten so far and watch the Christmas morning feeling I get when I loot a new shard to add one more to my collection. Okay, actually that guy is shit. 2 for number 2, because you will never take another unproductive one in your life. For example, this is how I shot the footage for the intro. And finally, 3, the game gets updated with new stuff so often that it never gets old to play. For example, just now they are literally adding an entire new faction, the Sylvan Watchers, with tons of elven looking champs to collect. Not to mention a new season of Forge Pass and events like if you are an Amazon Prime member you can get these exclusive rewards. So if this sounds good, using my link in the description or scanning my QR supports my content, but also will get you Silver Energy XP, a shard, and a new champ Terrell, which should perform better than my newest one. And let's get back to League. Alright, so a bit of lore into this game's anime arc. My jungler immediately feels the need to confess that it's been 10 months since his last relapse and has no clue what's going on, and I'm thinking, well, this is going to be a 4v5 because Riot makes a game that rewards players for investing time and improving their skills over, I dunno, just playing an OP champ, right?
A few moments later.
But anyways, the early game is a farm fest outside of one ugly death that I edited out to make you think I have more than a 3-inch gamer penis, and then things get juicy when Cuddles, the pajamaed up fat oak tree, decides to molest my ankles, so I elegantly play this first fight to damn near perfection by using a total of 0 abilities and attacks, all in the grand suspense theme of this champ to get Perky Nips the pirate low and then yell 4 in her face for a surprise you dead now combo. Then I appropriately realize that I'm low in health and stay away from the fight, knowing that Maokai can kill me if I breathe too much, which would make this entire circle jerk of a fight. Then a few minutes pass and I get to meet their jungler, who is bald and blind and looking like a tanning bed really had its way with him, so I feel bad and say fine, he can stay, to which he pulls quite literally the biggest damn beetle I've ever seen in my life out of his pocket, and I'm thinking that's a wild way to be a courteous guest, so I go full-blown Bobby Bazooka, thinking I need to thin this wave or my ass will be grass and they will all be lawn mowers, and sure enough I was right. The creepy-ass wave of kitten-faced bark roots comes ground humping its way over, so I have no choice but to ask Samira where all her health went before lending some triple drank as a last supper to the dying tree for the double. And then if you are wondering where that train wreck of a house guest who tried to infest my fucking house with bugs escaped to, I'm happy to report that Mr. I have a life and go to college and don't know anything about this game anymore was happy to demonstrate how literally none of that matters when you get ahead on this floating Freljordian shithole of an island. They are now beating on my tower because I have the wave management of a burnt plastic catheter, but I know that Bed Kitty is around to get litty, so I try to communicate with my teammate in League of Legends like many brave men before me have tried, which unsurprisingly results in nothing. But thankfully Rengar is like I pushed my alt Q for this and I'm not leaving without at least making this ADC contemplate uninstalling the game, which goes exactly how it's designed to go. And then me and my support make sure our attendance is recorded with some undeniable synergy, but that's not important if you can count all the way to 4. A few minutes later my pike is low, mostly due to him being a knuckle-dragging Neanderthal, which baits a fight on top of the blue babies and lets him use his BOGO.
Your turret has been destroyed. Double kill. An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
One of the inching down oil tanks.
I'm off to the Arctic for 3 weeks. I am not inside a fusion reactor. I'm in Hull. I am at Disney World. I'm in an airplane bathroom. I am in an unpowered glider. I am in Iceland. I'm flying a few thousand feet over Lincolnshire. I'm at platform 9 3/4. I am under the English Channel. I am still in the Arctic. I'm on top of a hill. I am in Baton Rouge. I am squinting into the sun. I'm in Swindon. I am about to cross a road. I'm in Bristol. I'm on my way back from the Arctic. I'm at space camp. I am putting myself at risk of being sued. I'm at a party. I'm at the Eureka weather station. I am with Norm. I am back with Norm. Last time I was outside this pub with Norm, he taught me how to strangle someone. I am back in the UK and I have a cold. I'm in Weldon Spring. I'm in Yevle. I'm in the abandoned city of Pripyat.
I'm inside one of the inching down oil tanks.
I'm off to the Arctic for 3 weeks. I am not inside a fusion reactor. I'm in Hull. I am at Disney World.
much for being here. But before I start tonight, I just wanted to read a brief statement that I prepared. I denounce anti-Semitism in all its forms. And I stand with my friends in the Jewish community. And that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time. I gotta tell you guys, I've probably been doing this 35 years now. And early in my career, I learned that there are two words in the English language that you should never say together in sequence. And those words are the and juice. I've never heard someone do good after they said that. Kanye's gotten into some scrapes before. Normally when he's in trouble, I pull up immediately. This time I was like, you know what? Let me see what's gonna happen first. I just want to see where this is all going. Can't remember how it started. Vaguely, I remember it started with a tweet, strange tweet. It was like, I'm feeling a little sleepy. I'm gonna give me some rest, but when I wake up, I'm gonna go DEFCON 3 on the Jews. And then he just went to bed. I was up all night worried. What is he gonna do to the Jews? I grew up around Jewish people. A lot of Jewish friends. So I'm not freaked out by your culture. I know a little bit about it just from hanging out. Yo, let's go out to school. Like, you can't go out. Shana tomorrow. Like, what is Shana? I had so many questions. Why do some of your people dress like Run DMC? Kanye woke up from that nap, we went right to work. A year ago, I seen him on a podcast called Great Champs. Great show. And it was an amazing appearance. Noriega and them were there, the rappers that I love, and they all had the gold chains and stuff on. And Kanye said, only millionaires wear chains. They said, what? He said, I'm a billionaire. Billionaires don't wear chains. I tucked my chain and I said, oh, mad about something. He said, I can say anti-Semitic things. Just drop that thing immediately. Adidas was founded by Nazis. And they were offended. I guess the students passed the teacher. He had broken the show business rules. Because it's a rule. You know, the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. But if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it. Kanye got in so much trouble, Kyrie got in trouble. Kyrie Irving posted a link to a movie that he had seen on Amazon. No caption on the post or nothing like that. But apparently this movie had some, I don't know, anti-Semitic tropes or something. It was some weird kind of like Negro or something. And the NBA told me he should apologize. He was slow to apologize. And then the list of demands to get back in their good graces got longer and longer. And this is where, you know, I draw the line. I know the Jewish people been through terrible things all over the world. But can't blame them on black people. You just can't. You know what I mean? Thanks to one person that said who. A fair punishment would be you should just post a link to Schindler's List and y'all write your own captions. Kyrie Irving's black ass was nowhere near the Holocaust. In fact, he's not even certain it existed. I saw one news pundit screaming about Kanye. She said, mental health is no excuse for that type of garbage. Yes, it is rich. You can kill somebody if you're mentally ill. Listen, okay, I don't think Kanye is crazy at all. I think he's possibly not well. I've been to Hollywood. I don't want y'all to get mad at me. I'm just telling you. I've been to Hollywood. This is what I saw. It's a lot of Jews. Like a lot. But that didn't mean anything. You know what I mean? There's a lot of black people in Ferguson, Missouri. Doesn't mean we run the place. Go out to Hollywood and your mind might start connecting some kind of lines, and you could maybe adopt the delusion that the Jews run jokers. It's not a crazy thing to think, but it's a crazy thing to say out loud in a climate like this. Now the midterms are over. And it's crazy climate. And I gotta tell you, I feel like this midterm, like all of humanity depends on it. And it's an ominous sign. The most ominous sign of the midterms, I believe, would be Herschel Walker, who I don't want to speak badly of because he's black. But I have to admit, he's observably stupid. Even when he's not talking, his mouth be open a little bit like. He's the kind of guy that looks like he thinks before he makes a move on And I'm watching the news now, they're declaring the end of the Trump era. Now, okay, I can see how in New York you might believe it's the end of his era. I'm just being honest with you. I live in Ohio amongst poor whites. A lot of you don't understand why Trump was so popular, but I get it, because I hear it every day. He's very loved. The reason he's loved is because people in Ohio have never seen somebody like him. He's what I call an honest liar. No, I'm not joking right now. He's an honest liar. That first debate, I'd never seen anything like it. Never seen a white male billionaire screaming at the top of his lungs, "This whole system is rigged," he said. And across the stage was a white woman, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, sitting over there looking at him like, "No, it's not." I said, "Now, wait a minute, bro. It's what he said." And the moderator said, "Well, Mr. Trump, if in fact the system is rigged, as you suggest, what would be your evidence?" Remember what he said, bro? He said, "I know the system is rigged because I use it." I said, "God damn." And then he pulled out an Illuminati membership card, chopped a line of cocaine up, and threw it right into the phone. No one ever heard someone say something that true. And then Hillary Clinton tried to punch him in the taxes. So this man doesn't pay his taxes. He shot right back. That makes me smart. And then he said, "If you want me to pay my taxes, then change the tax code. But I know you won't, because your friends and your donors enjoy the same tax breaks that I do." And with that, my friends, Star was born. No one had ever seen anything like that. No one had ever seen somebody come from inside of that house, outside, and tell all the communists, we are doing everything that you think we are doing inside of that house. They just went right back in the house and started playing the game again. Democrats are sore losers. I'm a Democrat, I'm telling you, as soon as he won, they started saying all that he's colluding with Russia, he's colluding with Russia. It's very embarrassing as a Democrat, but it's time to learn. We all came to learn. He was probably colluding with Russia. I even look at his wife different now. His wife is beautiful, no question about it, but she looks like the kind of chick that James Bond would smash but not trust. Why you got all them documents at his house? What is this? This guy that's famous for not reading his press. Now all of a sudden he got 10,000 documents in his house and we can't get more to read. I've been fired from jobs many times in my life. And I will be very honest with you. Sometimes I was fired, I stole things. Wallets, staplers, computer mouses, all kinds of stuff. But you know what I never stole from work? Work. War in Ukraine brought it all into focus. And luckily for everybody in the Western world, the Ukrainians are way better fighters than we thought they'd be. I mean, these guys, God bless them, they're doing good. They killed 10,000 Russians the first week of the war. Even the Vietnamese were like, God dang, those are good numbers. This was before they had weapons. Before we started sending them weapons, they was killing Russians with things you can find around the house. That whole country, Ukraine, is littered with traps like Home Alone. They was stepping on brakes. Doing our How is Russia losing to the Ukraine? That would be like America losing a war to Colorado. Now the midterms are over. Everybody's awake. These new whites, they're like the whites. They're like newborn babies. Just woke up. Everything white people are mad about, we've been on that. Man, I can't feed my family like we've been on that. Man, we can't trust the government. We've been on that. Man, this man is the FBI. Word to Martin Luther King, bro. We've been on that. Nobody listens to me when I tell these jokes. You ignore me. My first Netflix special, what did I say? I said I don't want a sneaker deal, because the minute I say something that makes those people mad, they're going to take my sneakers away. And the whole crowd's like, and now you see Kanye walking around L.A. barefoot with the chain out. This guy lost $1.5 billion in a day. $1.5 billion in a day. I saw that. I said, put your chain on, nigga. Welcome back. It shouldn't be this scary to talk about anything. Make my job difficult. I gotta get sick talking to a crowd like this. I love you to death. And thank you for your support. I hope they don't take anything away from you. Whoever they are. Black Star is in the building!
sausages were ordered. You know, we talked about all the secret memes that can't go on stream, so everyone knows like all the big secrets that don't want to hear. But they're all trustworthy. Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, I got pitched like 16 startups while I was there, and I was like, okay, this is why everyone's here, but you know, that's fine. Yep.
Did you find any you were going to invest in?
There was one like an idea that someone had, which was like, hey, listen, what we should do. So we need to have. It's like something anime VTuber, but porn. You know, like we're gonna create like a bunch of VTuber bots that are in the not the just chatting, the pools and outdoor section, and they're gonna, you know, 24 hours. They're gonna be doing squats and you know, and bending over and picking up things, I guess. And that was the idea. And I was like, well, maybe. So
Right.
I was thinking, yeah.
Can't wait for that to make
Well,
its way
I
on
mean,
Twitch, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, the TPS stuff is actually very interesting. You use that, obviously, and I think that's a good business. And, you know, they're creating some pretty cool things that they're doing there, so that's exciting. I don't want to spoil too much, but I think one of the things that's actually pretty funny is I think they're working on a system where you can donate in the future to a stream like yours, and instead of just text-to-speech, they can actually record their voice, so we can hear some like ultra neckbeards like heavily breathing into the microphone, asking about fucking vegan questions or something. So I think that'll be pretty cool. So I think there's definitely a business there. The issue is, you know, can it scale out, and can they get other donation systems like Streamlabs to be interested in acquiring it? And you know, how much will they pay, and how much ML and AI, and you know, how much moderation can you build in? Because you really want it to just be, to get like one of these big platforms to integrate you need to have to just be like a drop-in replacement, where literally they can. Yeah, and yes, someone said moderation is going to be rough. I think that's a big part that they're going to have to figure out exactly what's said. Queue system and such.
Yeah, you just moderate it. There's a service right now that allows me
what else? I don't know, that's it. I guess, how do you feel? I guess changing gears a little bit. That's a little bit of a DN update right there, if you will, the weekend update. What's going on with you? In any news or updates in the last 12 hours since you turned off stream?
12 hours, no? Nope.
No? I saw that... Can we talk about Max and Lab or anything, or do you not want to talk?
Yeah, we can, but I'm banning all subreddit posts on it. So
okay, so we can talk about it. Okay, that's good. Okay, what do you make of? It seems like Max is reaching out to like the Weinstein, the person who did the Weinstein stuff, that journalist.
No one is going to take any of this shit seriously.
Well, that's not necessarily what I mean. Like, you know, is that I don't want to say a danger to you or anything, but like, what happened here? It seems I can't process it really. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there's something.
What happened is, I think Max is genuine narcissist. He is, I don't know if it's narcissistic personality disorder or whatever, but he's definitely a narcissist. So, I think with narcissists, I think the scary thing is that it is impossible to reconcile any disagreement unless you agree with them. There is no compromising with a narcissist, because they're right. They have a holy mandate from God, essentially, on every issue. So, I think the issue with Max actually started a bit earlier. I think it started with the Nazi thing. That was the first time I think he's given me significant pushback on an issue that I didn't really agree with him at the end on. And I think from there, I think it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. When I watched a little bit of the show that he did last night, his little call-in show, and his framing now is that like, yeah, Destiny hated me ever since I told him I didn't like him platforming Nazis that could become president or whatever, something like that. So I think that his issue with me goes all the way back to that. It goes all the way back to that thing, and then from there it's just gotten worse and worse. No, not from there. It's gotten worse and worse. There was one other key thing. It was the subreddit stuff. So it was the subreddit stuff and the Nazi stuff. I think it was two big things where we just have massive disagreements over it. But I don't think you can have disagreements with somebody that's a narcissist. You either agree with them or you're like wrong.
Do you think the Lex Friedman thing was also kind of a sticking point here? Because that's a huge deal. Like, in my opinion, that may be one of the bigger deals here that's happened. So, like, for instance, the subreddit thing is annoying. The, you know, his arguments over you of your platform is annoying. But, like, this Lex Friedman thing is, like, massive.
I don't think it's that massive, but it is, like...
I mean, like, the last people he interviewed was, like, fucking Kanye and Ben Shapiro, and that should have been you and Matt, and now it was you, right? Or it was going to be Max, but then, I don't know the exact situation. I just saw that he broke up with Lex Friedman or something. So it was going to be Max, and then it was you. And he's like, what the fuck? You know, because that's like that's a huge deal. I mean, look at who was there before, right?
I don't think that actually impacted him that much. I don't think he's like a spite-driven person or a spiteful person. I think he can be. His actions look like it. But at the end of the day, I think that what's really happening is that he genuinely feels like he's correct about everything. He's just the right person. So like the burning of the lights bridge, is like obviously right, he's wrong, so he's going to nuke that bridge from orbit, of course. I don't know if he's necessarily spiteful about me and Lex. I think it's just he just views it all as in terms of like I think it's a sin. That's like the brand at the moment. I think that's all of that.
I think the thing that's that would make me nervous at this point, it seems like people who get... Actually, I don't know if I have any other examples besides this. I guess I'll ask the question. Do people that get close to Max get burned? Or is it just you with this case?
It's going to be... My guess is it's going to be anybody that gets close to him has a disagreement. So I'm probably not going to allow posts on it, but the real meme is going to be that inevitably in 5 or 6 months, Max and Lav are probably, or not, I'm probably in like 2 months. Max and Lav, because Lav is very good, they're going to end up disagreeing on something, and Lav is going to think that she's got way more space for disagreement than she actually does, and that's going to cause Max to get into a huge rift with her, and they're probably going to end up like, I don't want to say break up because I'm not dating, but that there's going to be a huge fight where she's going to realize, oh shit, Max is actually it's fucking insane. He's not listening to a single thing I'm saying. That moment will come. It might be 2 weeks from now, it might be 2 months from now, but that moment will absolutely come.
Do you think that Max thinks that you just might be smarter or more introspective or more correct on things than he is in any subject?
No, he thinks he's better than me in every single way. I think he actually even said that verbatim yesterday. He's a narcissist. I think he actually said like,
what did he say?
He said like, why would I be
TGGW in the chat.
why would I be scared of Steven when I'm smarter, stronger, faster, more artistic? I think he literally said all of these things on his show last night. Yeah, he's a narcissist. He thinks he's better in every single way.
But he believes that there's nothing that you are simply better at, or smarter, or more effective at. He's better, right?
I'm sure if you push him, honestly, he'd probably admit to things that he doesn't care about. So he's like, oh yeah, he's a better StarCraft.
Would he think that he could become a better StarCraft player than you if he wanted to do that?
No plan.
What's your thought on if that was the case?
Probably. I would think that. That's generally how I think of life, but...
Interesting. So you have this view of yourself then a little bit. So for instance, let's say
but I would say everybody should have that view of themselves. If you put enough time and effort into something, you can become like the 99th percentile. I don't think that's unique to me. I would say that everybody has a capability.
Sure, okay, but I guess then it's not, when we say that about him, we say, oh, he's a narcissist because he thinks that. Well, you think that as well then, right?
No. That has nothing to do with narcissism. That's why when you ask me, does he think he could beat you at StarCraft eventually? Maybe. The reason why I'm undecided on this is because I don't know. That's like a personality-driven thing. It's not a narcissism-driven thing. I don't think.
Okay. But you do feel like that. So, for instance, I believe you will probably never be better at chess than like no matter what. Actually, not probably. No matter what happens in your life, you will never be better at chess than like. Not probably. For sure, right? Well, I'm talking about in our life, right?
Realistically,
right. And the reasoning, I think, because of that, isn't always because of skill, but also because of some,
That's why I
pathways.
said aptitude. Yeah, there's some at the highest.
What is aptitude?
Well, at the
Sorry,
highest levels, I think that there's going to be a bit of biology that plays into it, of course. At the ultimate highest levels, yeah, you're not going to be able to escape that.
Is that aptitude? I thought aptitude was something. What's the definition of aptitude? I guess.
I feel like for me, aptitude is like your proclivity to be good at something, your capability of being good at something. You're showing like an interest, or you're showing like an ability to be good in an area. You don't necessarily have it, but you have an aptitude for it. So like, if I were to give somebody like a, I don't know, it could be biological or environmental, but let's say I give a kid like a clarinet and he can start playing like scales like within like a day or two. I'd be like, oh wow, he's not good at clarinet, but he's got an aptitude for it. That's what I would say. That's my understanding of aptitude.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting. So yeah, for some of these things, I feel like there is no bypassing that. I think it's probably biological when it comes to like your ability to do. There's another game called Go. Chess is another one of them. Music, maybe, I think. Art as well. That either you have this gift or you do not have the gift, and that you can probably fake a lot of it through practice. But I think, like, at the end of the day, no amount of studying or practice is going to turn you, like the son of incest, into a fucking genius, right? You have 90 IQ. As it's measured, like that's your baseline for the rest of your life.
The problem is that it's really hard to tell how much environmental factors can influence you, like before the age of like 4 or 5 or 6 years old. It's really, really hard to tell. Those might be like the most important formative years. And I think as more research comes out, I think people are pointing more towards the fact that those early years are really important. So something that seems like, oh my God, this is biologically gifted, the parents might have just been doing something right when the kid was like 3 or 4 years old. That is harder to see.
Can you get more IQ, in your opinion?
What does the research say about gaining IQ? I don't know if you do gain IQ. I'm not sure.
Because some of that isn't like, how smart are you? It's shit like, here's a bunch of shapes. What's your ability to have like the awareness of understanding how these shapes can go back together in another form? It's not something, I don't think that's something you can learn. It's just something, the way that your mind processes spatial patterns or things like that. I don't know if that's something you can teach yourself to get better at.
Yeah, I think IQ is supposed to be a proxy for, I think it's something people want to measure called G, or your G factor. Is that what it's called? Like general intelligence. I don't know if people even agree this exists right now, but yeah, it's hard to say where that comes from, or how early that develops or is in place, or yeah. I don't know.
Interesting. So how much of IQ, I guess, do you feel is what you're born with versus your upbringing? If you have,
I have no idea. I wouldn't even try. I don't know. I could see it going in so many different ways.
Really? Well, I mean, what's your gut instinct tell you, right? So I guess the question would be like, if you had 2 Asian parents who lived like rednecks, would we expect their kid to be a better performer in an IQ test at age 5 versus 2 rednecks 2 redneck people that bring their kids up in like a very upscale neighborhood or something?
It happens sometimes, doesn't it?
Has there ever been any studies like that? That'd be interesting to kind of see.
Can I
guess like
I don't want to throw like my parents
kids.
under the bus, but like my dad is kind of a redneck. I think he's like from like farms in Kentucky or whatever. Pretty sure that's where I think like either in Kentucky or Illinois. And my mom is like Cuban immigrant. Like I don't think and I'm like 190 IQ.
Has there ever been any study with like I guess this would be the perfect thing for like adopted kids to do that type of test, right?
Well, of
like
course, there are tons of adopted kid studies where they measure IQ and shit. There was a really famous one where they tried to do like racial differences between. It's called the Minnesota Twin Adoption Study or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I bring up, I was just curious. The reason why I bring up the difference between me and my parents is because, like, all of my family, if you met all of my family, all of them seem like their family. You'd be like, oh yeah, of course these people are related to each other. Except for me, I stand out a lot. But I think it's because I was like really isolated and played video games and was like pretty like cut off from most of them. Even if we lived in the same house, I wasn't interacting with them much. So the socialization there like dramatically changed my similarities to my family, such that like when I take girls over to my parents' house or whatever, like it's hilarious. Like they're like, this, you guys don't even seem remotely related. It's completely different. So I don't know how much like the socialization affects it. That's the only difference,
You're
unless I'm
the
adopted.
only one that you think stands out
Oh,
in your
yeah.
family?
Super
Really?
standout. Oh, yeah.
But you lived in the same environment. The only difference is that you're
But I didn't
playing video
interact
games
with
all
any of
day.
them. Yeah, I was just playing games and shit all day. Does this automatically reserve a slot here for these guys? I don't know why it does this, but okay. I guess it's okay. I guess it's good, but
What was, I mean, I don't know. Do we not talk about this study? Because I know where that probably goes to certain talking points, but what did it have to say, I guess? Because that is kind of interesting.
the Minnesota twin adoption one, I think, showed that racial IQ differences, even if they decreased, I think there was still a constant hold between different races. But like, problem is that adoption studies themselves like have a whole bunch of like other stuff going on. So for instance, like kids that are adopted into families, that environment is already incredibly atypical, and you're selecting for a type of people that are adopting people. You're selecting for a type of person that's going to be adopted. And then you also have there's also like you see like a general raise in IQ over time. Because apparently there are things like malnutrition and adolescence can play a huge factor into, you know, like lack of cognitive development and everything. So you see like a general increase of IQ over the world over time as nations develop and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's all, the intelligence is really, really, really complicated.
I feel like so much of this is just so much easier for conservatives to just be like, look, study said that, you know, and that's really like the issue that comes from this, right? It's just easier to be like, oh, this study said X without looking into any of the reasons why it would do that. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, intelligence research is really complicated, but it's also like, it's a spooky area to study, right? Because nobody wants to be the guy that figures out that like, oh, black people are genetically dumber than white people. Nobody wants to be the one to publish that, you know? But then also it's also like genuinely a very
that actually reminds me, there was a study, I don't think I'll be able to find it anymore, but so let me ask you a question. I want you not to put on your PC answer here, but actually think about
any PC answers, you fucking schmuck.
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't want you to put on it, okay?
Okay.
How, if a person walked into a room and said nothing, and they were dressed like everyone else, how good do you think you could be at determining who was gay versus not?
Gay is usually pretty easy, but it's going to depend on where you're at. Like a San Francisco gay dude, I could pick out probably based on the way he fucking sits and stands. Just very easy. Just I don't know, certain types of gay people signal their gayness like hardcore. But other types of gay people, like if you're gay like in the fucking Midwest or in the South, those people appear a lot more like straight presenting, I think.
But I'm not talking about like mannerisms. So there was a study, and then the people who did the study got destroyed. But it was interesting is that can a face be gay? And they did this whole study, and there was a test that you could do as well, where it just showed you a bunch of faces, nothing else, just a face, and you would choose like, is this person gay or straight, going through it, and like people were doing it. People were actually picking out gay or straight people with nothing more than a face. There was no clothing. They weren't saying anything. It was a static photo of someone's face, and this study was like basically like, oh, there is like a thing, but then I don't know what happened. Then they completely retracted the study and they got screamed at. So I don't know if it was like fake news or if this is actually the case now. But I feel like I don't know. It's just interesting. What could be going on there? Do you think there is like a difference in faces if you're gay or straight?
If I had to guess, my guess is going to be that gayness is stuff that's like environmentally turned on. That'd be my guess. But there are genes that make you more like likely to be gay. I don't know if those have been identified. That would be my intuitive guess, though. But
interesting. Oh, what other big pending questions is there? I don't know. I'm seeing too many Pepe the Frogs in chat. Not good. Okay, that is a wholesome emote. You guys need to stop trying to turn it into something else. Not good.
We went west into Miami. We went skating yesterday. How much fun!
Oh, yeah?
Have you ever gone skating before?
Like rollerblading?
Yeah.
Or like old skates like we used to do in school? Like around a rink?
Yeah, rollerblading.
Rollerblading. How did you like it?
It's okay, I guess. You just roll around.
Yeah, I was invited, but I'm still jet lagged, and also I can't. I have a bad knee. I don't think I can do any skating or any sports like that ever again.
Yeah.
Without risking, like, I just don't want to get surgery. I can walk fine, I can run fine, I can do everything I need to do. But if anything that involves like your lower legs wanting to I guess like kind of going to the left or the right would be something that would like put me at risk, because I've dislocated my knee so many fucking times. I think 3 times now, and it's super painful and takes me out of commission for like a month, and yeah, it's just not good, basically. So,
jeez, the rough life of Dan.
So what's the agenda for today? I see the stream title is maybe. Oh, hold on, what is it? Maybe ABBA, Britney guest starring today.
Yeah, they might be coming over. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So both of them. Wait, which Britney?
Which one do you think?
I have no idea. There's like 14 of them.
That's a good point. I don't even know. Fuck, I don't. People are really weird about traveling. People like don't
Wait,
announce.
you don't know either. You're like,
No,
I don't know. There's
I
a
know, but
Britney
now I
coming.
don't know if I can say, because if people don't know, I don't know if anybody knows who's traveling. People are like, oh, I don't want people to know that I'm traveling to places. So I don't know. I'm not. Never mind. Whoever shows
Well,
up.
you already
shows
said. Okay, then message me which one it is. I'm curious.
Well, it has to be Brittany Simon, right? It's not going to be Brittany Venti. It's not going to be Brittany from Politically Provoked. So
why?
Because why would either of those two people come together with ABBA?
I don't know, for some debate on something.
What would the chances be of them being here at the same time?
Totally possible, right?
It's possible, I guess, yeah. But no, it's the Brittany Simon one, yeah.
Okay.
It
So
must
we
be
gonna
okay
hang out
because we
then?
almost streamed together yesterday, but I couldn't stream in the skating rink because it was there was no signal inside. So
Wait, so did Brittany get here today, or was she here?
I'm not gonna tell. I'm not. They went yesterday.
Oh right, fine.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, never mind. All
well,
right,
I just said
so,
people are like really weird about their travel plans. They're like, oh, I don't want anybody to know I'm gonna be in someplace. It's like, okay, fine. I won't
Well,
say
you already
anything, so.
blew that. Now we know exactly where Brittany Simon will be today. Okay.
Well,
so
yeah, because they
get
said they might come over.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll come over too.
Yeah.
You didn't invite me though.
That's because you're not
So-
leaving Miami Beach ever. But you know, if you want to.
God, is there any way? What about if I pay for 3/4 of dinner if you guys
Oh my god.
come to Miami Beach?
How is
what
it
about
so
that?
hard?
I really don't like going to Miami
Why?
because Miami Beach is so much better.
In what ways?
Every way. What way is it not?
The types of people that inhabit Miami Beach.
Oh yeah, those are the best people. Wait,
Yeah,
what do
are
you?
they?
Hey, hold up. What do you mean by that? Sorry,
what I said.
Go ahead. So, what type of people are in a high concentration of Miami Beach? That's curious.
The super crazy party and club goers, the super plastic
Oh.
out BBL like fake lip girls. What do you mean?
I like those.
Yeah, okay.
No, I meant a different type, but that's fine.
What type? Do you think they're gonna be more like poor Hispanic people on fucking Miami Beach than if you go into Miami proper? What is that what you're trying to imply?
No. Never mind. I'm not going to do it. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
Everyone in chat knows exactly what we're talking about. I'll just say that this is one of the highest Jewish concentrations that there is, and you don't seem to want to be around us very much.
What would I not like
good.
about Jewish concentration? What did you say?
No, what'd you say? Go ahead. What is it
What
about
would I
Jewish
not like about Jewish
concentration?
concentrations?
What about them?
That sounds like a great thing.
Do you like them or do you not like them? Jewish concentrations.
I think it's really good. I like it when people are next to their own people, hanging out.
Oh, so you do like Jewish concentration? Okay, good. That's good
wait,
to know.
do you
not? I mean, I don't
Do you think they
personally.
should all
I
be
don't think.
scattered to the wind? You don't like the fact that
I don't think any concentration is good, especially not. No,
so you're
not good.
So what kind of place do you live in then?
I live in a diverse neighborhood with a lot of different people,
yeah,
and
do
we're
you
all
now?
living in harmony.
Really?
Yes.
A lot of different types of people over there. Okay, Soros.
A lot of different people. I mean, okay. Yeah. Wow. How do you do streaming with multiple people in a room with speakers and not have it echo, so that like all you guys can hear what's going on, and you can talk, and it doesn't fuck with everything? Do you have to have like a lavalier microphone for each person, or is there a way to do it?
Well, I'd probably just have both of them speaking to my mic. You could just get 2 microphones, so it would depend on what you want to do.
Like a wireless lavalier microphone would be the solution for that. No?
Yeah, but like I have that for my phone, yeah.
You do have that for your phone.
Yeah, for my IRL streams, I got like a dual lav mic thing, which actually worked really well when I was at TwitchCon.
Okay.
I thought it wasn't going to, like every other mobile streaming solution, but these actually worked really well.
Well, I think that we should. I'm all rested up.
Oh yeah,
So,
ready to
I
sit
am.
there and wait for us to come to you? Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, this is a nice, a nice area to all of us to be in. There's couches, there's drinks, good spot for a conversation. It's almost like podcast worthy, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
There's a dinner that I mentioned, would be mostly comped by me.
Wow.
So, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of positives about being here. Now, you can say, nah, sorry, I still want to stay here. And I understand that because believe me, I know that vibe. But let me know sooner versus later so that I can, I can kind of figure out how that's going to work with my, mindset, my mental, my bespoke feelings that I have at that moment.
Interesting.
It is.
Interesting.
What's interesting? What did you just learn? What fact?
Oh no, what you just said.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah, I don't remember either. It was probably very insightful, though, I think. Man, the best is when you force yourself, not force, but like, I flew home from Israel, and I was like up for like 30 hours. When you go to sleep after 30 hours, that's the bee's knees right there. You can't beat it. So good. So good. But I'm so fucked, though, okay? My goddamn sleep, I'm not tired. No matter what I do,
Do you take your cell phone into do you take your cell phone to bed with you?
I charge it next to me.
I think I'm gonna start doing that. Like, cell phone has to stay out of the room.
You think that's gonna make a big difference?
I think it does something to my brain when I wake up and there's my phone next to me. I think my brain instantly becomes super wired to be awake.
Really? Just having it in the room?
Here's an annoying thing that I noticed. Right now, I'm on I sleep for 6 hours and then I wake up and I'm fucking wired. I can't get back to sleep after 6 hours. But if I have to set an alarm for 6 hours, dude, and I wake up, I'm the tiredest motherfucker in the world. It's actually so horrible. I don't understand why. It seems like impossibly comically fucking stupid. Where I'll wake up, I'll go to bed at 2, wake up at 8. And I'll be like, oh, I'm awake. I'm super awake. But I'll go to bed at like 12 and I have to set an alarm for like 7 to go to the airport. And I'll wake up at 7 and be like, oh man, I'm so tired. I can't even move. And I'm like, why? I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's so obnoxious.
What are you going to do? There's just no way out.
Yes, everybody, please type in sleep cycles. Please type in REM cycles. Another an hour and a half, and that's actually explaining everything. Yes, we all know that you learned from Reddit. Yes, please, everybody type them in. Yes, sleep cycles,
REM cycle?
cycles.
I know what the REM cycle is.
Sleep cycles and REM cycles. Destiny.
Oh, the REM cycle.
It's because you're waking up in the middle of a sleep cycle. You have to time your sleep so you wake up when your REM cycle ends. That's the best time. There's a phone app for it. There's a phone app for it, Destiny. It's your sleep cycle, Destiny.
That's a girl's name.
I bet you've never thought about this ever before. It's a sleep cycle, Destiny. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Did you know there's an app for timing your sleep cycles? That was my idea, by the way.
Yeah, you just put it on your bed. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. So, let's bring it back to the topic at hand. So, what did you learn specifically in the last 24 hours about Lav that made you have just a switch get flipped in your dome piece? Or you're like, you know what? No. What was said behind the scenes that really just got your noggin jogging?
A guy messaged me
Mm-hmm.
who was apparently in Lav's Discord for like a couple hours, just like arguing with her. He's like a random dude, and he's just a random guy in the Discord server, and he started arguing with her, and she got into a private conversation with him, and he just started like, she just was just going off on me. It's like insane.
Going off how?
She just says insane shit, and these are like the strangers. So, fuck.
Go ahead.
I was lazy. I didn't record. I had a private call with Lav that lasted about an hour. Melina listens, so she can testify. But I had a private call for Lav for about an hour, and the way that she characterizes the call is insane. So she says, Steven pulled up a video of me on stream today crying and laughed. He laughed. He said all of this was good content. He gaslit the fuck out of me in an hour call last night. Like, I didn't gaslight her at all. What is she talking about? And then she's saying, like, the Anna thing is enough to make me not want to publicly associate with him. Him and Bear, like, what do you mean? This is the old news. Why are you, I like how Max and her have, like, grabbed onto this, like it's a new thing, when it's like, I thought you guys all knew about this for months, but now it's important to them. Let's see. This guy said, why is it that all of Max's relationships end this way? And Lav says, they haven't? What the fuck? Max has friends in real life. Steven has none. And they've publicly fucking exploded, yet somehow it's never him. He's just too charitable. Holy fuck, it's nothing. First of all, I have plenty of friends in real life. I have a surprising number of friends, actually, when I think about it, but okay.
Yeah, because you are intolerable, but that's fine.
True. Does Max actually have any real-life friends? I would be super curious if that was the case, but okay.
Insufferable is the word he would use for me, but I'll use that to you as well.
Okay, based.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? Hold on. I'm not talking about Steven. I'm talking about you and Max. Is Steven callous? Yep. Will he laugh at your pain if he thinks you're being ridiculous? Yep. I'm not going to blindly defend him and everything he's done. Lav says, no. Steven's sociopathic. He puts us in positions that make us hurt. By the way, keep in mind that me putting her in positions is her ditching a panel where she's like a guest of honor in the middle of it to come and fucking clout shark on my stream, by the way. Okay, that's me putting her in a position that hurts her. When she's literally ditching panels because the clout signal went off and she's running on my stream to fucking be on a panel. Like, okay, bitch, the fuck out of here. And he gaslights the fuck out of us and keeps us happy to stay in this little content machine and then throws us back to the wolves. It's fucking psychotic. He's gotten this criticism 6 different times publicly now. And you're trusting him and his narrative? What has Max done? These logs are like unhinged. Keep in mind, she's saying all this shit to a stranger. This narrative that Steven is painting about Max and Anna is painting about Max is fucking crazy. What he got scared about was that Max is investigating him. Really opportune time to completely fucking switch on Max. Based. Last week, they were my friends. This week, Max is a narcissist rapist. Super convenient and normal. By the way, pretty sure, like, wasn't it a week or two ago when Max was like, Steven's a good person and a good friend? Didn't somebody make a video about that? Oh, yeah. And then here she reveals in this conversation how Max found out. Max and I spoke nights ago. We had a conversation about how Steven had no idea how incentivized his platform was. I guess they just talk about me in their free time when they're offline. That's kind of creepy. We talked about his personal life and secrets we know and how they relate. And then I told him that it was even weirder because I had a sexual dynamic with him. Then Max realized that Steven had slept with a lot of his orbiters in that conversation. And he was like, question mark? And I was like, oh, wait, that's not normal now that I'm saying it. And Max was like, yeah, no, that's not normal. I guess when he found out that her and I had a thing. So now I don't know if that triggered him a little bit, but. Yeah, I don't know. Watching how unhinged she is, talking to total fucking strangers about me in her Discord, I think that was the final straw for me. Like, there's too much here. I do think she's like mind fucked by Max, but like, there's too much here. This is fucking insane. Like,
it's too much. It's too much. Yep.
Yeah. Anna tells me and corroborates all these stories Steven has told both of us about getting off on making women psychologically unravel. Okay.
Well. Okay, yeah. I had a question. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say this is for Anna, but it could be for anyone. So, and I think this is a tricky one. I don't know how Max would answer this. So the first question is, let us make the assumption. Oh, this is actually super tricky. So first off, Anna, as far as we know, has not been diagnosed with anything. She's just normal. Supposedly.
Well, I'm pretty sure she has.
Well, we don't know.
Well, right? I do, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So the question is, wait, message who?
Message you.
Oh.
So this is why I'm pretty sure, because I think in order to get it, you have to be right. That's what I'll just say. I don't know public language. Yeah, but go ahead.
And the question is, can you forget all that? It doesn't even have to involve her. Can you have sexts with crazy people?
I think it depends on the type of crazy they are. Like
No,
if somebody has
let's
like
say off the fucking walls schizophrenic crazy.
off
Or are
the
we
fucking
saying that
walls.
are schizophrenic people just not allowed to sext? Is that the law?
Yeah, so like this is my, and I'm just a crazy person, but like it's just like fucking, it's just messages. Like it's Discord messages. Like at the end of the day, like what's the worst thing that's happening? Like, and I'm not trying to downplay people that are abused online or whatever, because I know that people talk about that. But anytime I read like rape stories where people are like, oh, like I was sexually like assaulted by this guy for a long time, and it's like, oh God, like what happened? And it's like, well, you know, he said all these things to me on Discord, and then, you know, it was, and I'm like, okay, but like when did he like assault you? Like what did he sexually abuse you? Well, like he told me that he wanted to do these things on Discord, and I was talking back, and I'm like,
well, let me take this to another level.
They're text messages.
Okay, I'm not gonna even talk about that, because like there can still be abuse over that. But let's go even a step further, just so it's more clear. Can you have sex with schizophrenic people?
It's possible. It gets, so you don't want to take away too much agency from people with severe mental illness. This is okay, here, let me talk backwards from it, okay? This is the reason why sexual activity with very mentally compromised people might not be good, and it's because they might not have the faculty to appropriately consent, and they might be taken advantage of. That's like the issue, right? So like, for instance, if I found a truly schizophrenic, off their medications person, and I'm like, listen, the government sent me and I have to like come inside of you. Otherwise, like, you know, the bad guys are gonna get you. Like some shit like that might theoretically be something you could do to like a person who's schizophrenic with paranoia. That might be something that's fucked up. That's not good, right? But like, if there's like a person with schizophrenia, but they're on medication, they're functional, they live their life or whatever, the idea that that person can never consent to consensual activity, that's weird to me. I don't think that's, yeah.
So I guess the next step then, like as far as like what are you allowed to do when you're over 18, when you're an adult, what other rights should be taken away from a quote unquote crazy person? And again, keep in mind that the person we're talking about now is not schizophrenic, you know, whatever it seems like. So I'm using a very extreme example here, but like if you're schizophrenic and not a danger to anyone, are you just not allowed to do anything that an adult can do? Can you drive?
No, yeah, that's why,
vote?
that's the whole thing, yeah. Like, I think that as long as you're not, like, severely compromised, you should be able to, right? Remember JF saying that he's going to fuck a bunch of girls all the way up the East Coast? The problem with JF wasn't that he just wanted to fuck a bunch of girls. The problem with JF is that, one, the particular girl that he picked out was actually so mentally deficient that a court order got her to have like a permanent guardianship from her parents because she couldn't live her life on her own, number one. And number two was that JF was trying to get this girl to move cross country to get her away from her family and live with him so that he could put a baby in her as soon as possible. Those are all JF's explicit words. Like, he said all of it. None of that is like a secret. Like, he said all of that. It's a very, very, very different situation than just even like a 30 or 40-year-old guy fucking a 20-year-old guy. It was a really, really, really different, weird, creepy fucking situation.
Yeah.
Put the baby. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. What's up?
So, yeah, I guess it's challenging. Should we let schizophrenic people vote? Should we let them drive? Can they make decisions at all, I guess? And that's like, you know, the most extreme example I guess you can get. I think that's like classically the most like, I don't want to say off your rocker, but most like not normal, I don't know, baseline type of thing you can have. So the other thing here is, you know, as far as Mr. Girl going after your thing with Anna, he like, is she trying to say that like, or is he trying to say that like Anna is like schizophrenic, like unable to consent?
If I have to be as good faith as possible, which he doesn't deserve, I think the issue with Anna is that he thinks that I'm publicly attacking her at the same time that I'm privately talking to her. So I'm coming on my stream every day and I'm saying, like, Anna's fucking insane. She's fucking insane. She's fucking insane. But then behind the scenes, I'm like sexually courting her or whatever. If I'm being as good faith as possible, then that would be like the Steelman version of his criticisms. But I
will say the one thing that's fucked with this and being realistic here is that Anna is not doing you any favors here. Because she's completely flip-flopping like a crazy person. would. Like when she talks to Mr. Girl, it's like the worst possible shit she could ever say. Or when she talks to Lav about you, it's like, yeah.
So here's the, if you want like the guide to Anna, like this is how you can get Anna to like say or do anything you want. If you go to Anna and you basically say, here are things that people are saying about you that you really don't like. What are we going to do? Like that'll basically send her into a thing to say anything. That's like her obsession. And this is another thing that I don't know if Mr. Girl's admitted this yet, but this is another thing that drives a lot of people is a lot of people think that Anna is like obsessed with me and wants to, I think even you probably still think this, she wants to like be in a relationship with me and get rid of Melina and blah, blah, blah. And that's like Anna's whole thing. It's not. All Anna wants is for there to not be people saying things on the internet about her like being a stalker or whatever. Or like being obsessed or crazy. If
I don't want to get...
Sure, we don't have to get into it, but I'm saying that if all of that went away, then that's like always like her fascination. And you can tell...
I just don't agree, but
okay, yeah, that's fine. But all of the evidence supports me. She has never, ever said anything negative about Melina unless Melina's talking shit about her. She never gave any inkling about being jealous about any other girls or anything like that. She was friends with Melina for a while after I had my big OCD talk with her, and she talked with Melina. They were like super cool, and she was really happy that they spoke.
Listen, I understand you're on good terms with her.
I have to say for chat because fucking retards like you that have no understanding of the situation like make everybody think this, right? Anna has never at any point in our history ever implied or insinuated that like we ought to be dating. She has never like expressed any jealousy against Melina. She's been fine talking about Melina. All of her issues, every single trigger, every single thing that's ever happened has been me speaking poorly about her or somebody at my subreddit or Kiwi friends posting something negative about her. That has been the inciting action for every single loop she's had, and it continues to be this day. Like right now, I think she's dating another guy. I don't know if she's probably said that, but she's like been dating people and like going through other relationships and stuff. Like she's not like waiting for me forever. But okay, go ahead, say your thing, whatever you want.
So she's sexting with you when she's dating guys?
Usually when I say dating, I mean she's like going on dates. Sorry, people use that word.
So while she's going on dates, she's sexting with you.
Sometimes I don't know.
That's not a proper Christian way.
What do you think? Wait. What do you think dating means?
No, I don't think we need to get into that. Just let's.
No, wait, hold on. No, wait.
Oh, no, sorry.
Stop.
I gotta move on.
Wait, no.
Sorry. We gotta move. Oh, look at that. Time to move on to another.
Okay, sorry. Hold on. There's two types of dating. Dating is like I'm in an exclusive relationship with a guy, and dating is just like, oh, like I'm like I saw a guy for a date or I did or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. She's not like exclusive with some dude and we're like chatting or whatever. That's. Okay, hi.
You know you full muted yourself. I couldn't hear you or anything you said.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? I align with Mr. Girl right now.
Good.
You know, that is not okay. You are not allowed to censor what I have to say about this situation.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
You're a broken man. Okay. Unfixable.
Gotcha.
Don't you gotcha me. I know what that means, okay? All these other tier 4 subs might not understand, but I understand what it means. I've been here since the creation of gotcha. And thanks, anything else? All right, love you, bye.
True.
Whatevs. What else?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the number place to get better at League of Legends. I am Nice, and it is time to do some morning stuff. I am going to be doing got some new special hotness this morning. We are in the Nice classroom. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Consider subbing. Today, I am pleased to announce that we have a lot of cool things on the horizon. So if you want to get sneak peeks, you should sub up to the Nice stream. You should join the Macro Mansion. All you have to do is be a sub, and it's good to be here, everybody. How's it going? I'm thinking you guys enjoying the new stream environment? Hope you guys are. We put some work in. Shouts out to Beerman Stan, my editing team. Guys, pleased to announce that we have awesome stuff on the horizon. You need to go over, well, if you haven't subbed to the stream, you should sub. This is the #1 place to get better at League of Legends. If you're subbed, you get access to the Macro Mansion. It's pretty dope. Yeah, we are grinding. I'm going to do some quick morning announcements to see if anything's popping in the world of League of Legends. Thank you, Bjergsen. Is he retiring?
Hey guys, Bjergsen here, and I have a bit of an update for you guys. Team Liquid and I are going to be parting ways for the 2023 season. This is
a guy who's been around in the pro scene for, I mean, it feels like he's it feels like he is the NA pro scene. It's just, his recent results haven't really been great. It was weird because he took a break. I think he took a break for a year and then he came back like after taking a break from a year and then he's playing again. And his results with Team Liquid weren't spectacular. It's gotta feel so weird, man. It's gotta feel so weird being a part of this ecosystem and then you just wake up. It feels like you probably just wake up one day and then you're not hanging. At least as much as you would like to. Because obviously, like, when you're a pro, it's all result-based, right? It's result-based. Like, if you're not crushing it, if you're not absolutely killing it, then... But this guy has won LCS a ton of LCS championships, has been to Worlds multiple times. A lot of people hate on him, but he was always a solid player, and he always seemed to strive to be one of the best, if not the best, so... that's a pretty significant announcement, I think. Even though I'm not a huge like LCS follower, I don't really give a shit about LCS personally. There's no denying that the guy has been dominant in that league for a very, very long time, and only recently has he kind of fallen off. But saying fallen off is kind of douchey because I mean the dude has been. He's kind of like the gatekeeper of NA. I mean, really the gatekeeper in terms of like. Well, if you want to say NA's bad, then you gotta beat this guy. And most people couldn't. In general, like in general sense, like most people couldn't. And that's kind of how I always viewed him personally, is that like there was no denying that that he was there for a reason. So pretty significant. He's picked a good time to just back out, I think. Pyosic on stream said that Barrel predicted the T1 would attempt to backdoor the Elder fight. DRX entered the Elder fight knowing the backdoor might happen and answers attempt calm and collective. I believe it. I believe it. They were unbeatable in Worlds. They like you could never like count these guys out the entire event. They were very, very calm even. I don't know if you guys saw the ending of yeah right here. This is heartwarming. Hold on, let me skip ahead. Watch this. If you didn't see, basically this team DRX, they get to the finals. They've never even beaten T1. They go to a 5-game series and win in like a dramatic fashion. But like I said, the ending of this series, this is their calms. It's like heartwarming. Obviously it's in Korean, you can't understand it, but just so they're having this intense fight, right? They're having this intense fight. T1 goes for this intense backdoor play. Now, backdoor attempt comes through. They defend it. Really well timed. Iosic kind of almost gets caught. I say kind of, almost gets caught. And then right here. Pretty crazy stuff. And so yeah, if you didn't see the Worlds event, you should check out the other videos. It's a very, very, very good ending. And those guys, like I said, it's just heartwarming. Like you can't really deny it. Let's see what else is there in the news today. Turning off chat made League into one of the best roguelike experiences, or best roguelike games I've ever played. Every game starts at level 1 and has a different outcome and flow. Even if every champion is the same like the game before, you focus on yourself and make a better place of decisions. The other bots in the game's different difficulty level. It's okay to lose if you get overwhelmed, just like in other roguelike games. Best decision ever. Honestly, Riot needs to bug fix some of these bots because they really get stuck in base or spam ping someone. This is work around to speed the pings. Kind of agree, man. I kind of agree. We're turning. This is a new era. This is a new era of League that's about to happen. Okay, I've been talking about this and saying it for years and years and years. But the fact is that when I use these like poker comparisons all the time, and people roll their eyes and get tired of them, poker is the closest representation to League of Legends that we have right now. And it was inevitable that we were going to get an anonymous mode when the LP has like a real value, like it has a clout value, it has a monetary representation. Is the closest and get tired of them, and people roll their eyes. These like poker comparisons. I use these like poker comparisons all the time, and people roll their eyes and get tired of them. Poker is the closest representation to League of Legends that we have right now. And it was inevitable that we were going to get an anonymous mode when the LP has like a real value, like it has a clout anonymous mode when it was inevitable to have right now. And I use these have right now. That we have right now. I use these like poker comparisons all the time, and people roll their eyes and get tired of them. Poker is the closest representation to League of Legends that we have right now. And it was inevitable that we were going to get an anonymous mode when the LP has like a real value, like it has a clout value, it has a monetary value, it has a content value. It was going to happen that eventually when these trolls and all that stuff, you just can't deal with them in a reliable way, in an automated way. It was bound to happen that an anonymous mode was coming and that you were going to be incentivized to stay as far away from outing yourself publicly in the game. This is going to be a very, like, culturally, where people are realizing that it is unwise to interact with other people, right? Like, it's unwise to, I mean, when I say interact, like chat, to rely on others, to trust your teammates, to do it. The only thing that really matters is playing the best League of Legends you can play and then just muting the chat, right? And then the anonymous mode is also going to do away with a lot of the apps that rely on data mining players. It's going to hurt those apps immensely. So I think that this is, again, a very, very significant time to be a League of Legends player. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to look, but it's feeling more and more like people are realizing that game is best. Basically, your best experiences with League come when you just actually do focus on yourself. And now Riot's also adding all these other changes down the pipeline that are going to kind of promote that, where it's anonymous mode. They're looking into, I heard that they're looking into reporting. Hold on, I got to find the thing. Let me see here. There was something on Twitter. If I can find it, I'm going to try to find it. There was, I can't find the tweet right now, but there was a thing that came out that said that Riot is exploring manually reviewing higher elo games finally at the, basically, I think during preseason. So aside from the fact that jungle's being radically changed, the anonymous mode is coming through, Riot's openly saying that they're going to review games in higher elo. I think the community perception has finally hit a point where Riot has to act. I was just talking to my editor about this, and that there's a ton of stuff in the tech sphere right now that's unrelated to League of Legends. Twitter's very likely to go... I mean, Twitter might legitimately go bankrupt. Facebook just laid off, like, I think it's like 11,000 employees. I think that Riot is actually at a point where they're probably seeing, at least in the North America side of things, they're probably seeing a lot of downswings in a lot of places. And it's probably making them more likely to respond because of all this, all these changes that have been, or I guess all this negative, these just negative results, like monetarily. And then obviously community perception is the first thing that they're going to look at. So I just think it's very interesting. And I think that the future of League is, I don't know, I would argue that it's looking bright, but, you know, Riot, whenever Riot focuses on, like, I'm optimistic, but I'm also realistic, right? Like, I personally love competitive side of things. Like, I don't care about pro play, but I love the competitive side of solo queue, and that solo queue's rank has a value, right? No one can take that away. Like, if you're climbing the ladder, there's value in that. People want to see you climb. People care about the experience of the streamers, the content creators, and all that. I care about that. But there's no denying that every time a game company focuses more on appeasing the competitive side of the video game in any game, I don't really think that there's like a proof of give a shit in the community. I think that the only thing that really matters in a game, and this is just fact of life, the only thing that really matters in a game is how, you know, the casuals do. The casuals care. You know, obviously I've benefited monetarily from doing coaching videos and making coaching content and yelling at people and trying to get their fundamentals down or whatever. But I also think that, you know, my service is a very, very valuable one, not for me financially, but also for League of Legends on the whole, is that more people that are playing your game, that are learning your game, that's good for the game. So I don't think that giving a shit about higher elo really matters. I want them to care. I don't know if that matters for the health of the game really right now. But I'm happy to see it. I don't know if changing anything in higher elo really matters, but I want them to do it because I give a shit. Right? What they should be focusing on is making the new player experience better to weather the storm that's impending. At least that's my opinion. But, yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. And then I don't know if you guys have seen this Dead Spill the Beans thing, but it's basically Riot's version of comedians in cars getting coffee. It's honestly a really cool premise, but it's far too short. I've never seen a video so short. Look at this. The guys are like, hee hee, we're rioters, hi, and then they're talking about jungle pets. Here we go.
You can't play League of Legends without playing jungle once or twice. It's just a brand new experience you can't get from anywhere else. So it's a narrative for how the jungle functions, but it's also just something to do.
I don't get this narrative. Like, I really don't get the narrative with the pets. I mean, this is a cool video. It's a cool concept. But yeah, this is, to me, I don't understand what they're saying when they say this. I guess if you step back or zoom out and think about it in terms of like how lonely jungle feels, I guess maybe it's like a way to like psychologically mark a change in like in design philosophy, right? So when you queue jungle, you play League, you queue jungle, you know what's going to happen, right? You already know what's going to happen. You're going to do this weird role that you can practice, right? Which obviously you can practice your players and all that. You're about to do this weird role, and you know that your team is going to blame you if things go bad. You know it. You know it. The role is complicated, and to the average League of Legends player that plays jungle or is getting into it, it's a very like, you question your sanity a lot of the time. So I almost feel like if I were to try to like inference or to try to assume or to hypothesize like what it is they're going for here, I think this is like a way of them marking it down clearly that they understand the jungle. It's like the pets represent at its core the understanding that the jungle needs more, for lack of a better term, it needs more like humanity or something. Needs more friendship, positivity, this type of mindset, because I can't understand how pets have anything to do with anything, at least thematically, other than that. Right, which I guess if you wanted to frame it that way, it's okay. I guess they couldn't have like, you know, they couldn't have like a dude following you around the jungle telling you that everything's gonna be okay. So they just went for these like Pokemon. The jungle needs an AI friend. I everything they're doing with the pets. Like if you haven't seen Pilar's rundown, check out his channel. He does a rundown on the jungle changes. It's a phenomenal rundown. He's basically my lead jungle coach, and he's really good at what he does. And you know, if you haven't seen these changes, they're designed to make the jungle more friendly, and they're designed to take the gaps, the variability of the role. Say you first time fiddle jungle right now, any person watching this video right now, you're gonna clear like dog shit. You're probably not even gonna get through your clear for like 4 minutes, right? That's just facts. But theoretically, you can clear at like I think it's like 3:07 or something crazy low, whatever it is. But the point is that like these clears with the pets and everything, they're trying to make it so that clearing the jungle isn't so much of a fucking wide gap, right? And we could sit here and argue and debate on whether or not it's a good thing for the game, bad thing for the game, whatever, right? Casual is getting this special treatment. You cannot deny nobody really in a lot of these regions in lower elos wants to play jungle because it's overwhelming, it's frustrating, your team blames you for everything, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like the clears are out of control, the skill gap on the whole like item camp is super wide, the camera control requirements way higher than all the other roles. There's no denying that there needs to be a friendlier role. But anyways, if you want to see Rioters doing like this very weird shorthand comedians apart, I actually don't mind this video format, but like, what the fuck is it only 2 minutes? Like, what a waste. You know, this is one of those things where like, since I've been to Riot and I know what's happening here, this coffee shop that they're sitting in, this isn't like, this is their coffee shop. Gold Water Brew, that's their coffee shop. What the fuck? How do these guys, these paycheck stealers, how are they only filming a video that's 2 minutes long about such a, like, just do a whole video, you assholes. Like, have a conversation. Who cares? That's what I hate about big corporate. Like, they could never do a video like this where you just talk. You always got to make sure that, like, oh, we don't say wrong. Like, this could be a really cool. I would love to hear. I'd love to hear from like normal. I would love for them to humanize themselves a little bit. Because it's a super negative environment being a writer, and I love to hear like, you know, like they say, you know, the guy says that that they're trying to, you know, they're trying to incorporate these pets. Talk more about this. They're fucking show some more. Tell some stories about what the hell you guys were talking about when we get to pets specifically. But anyways. That's all I got for morning announcements this morning. If you guys are enjoying the new scenery that we have and the new setup that we have, I'm gonna get into Angry Niece mode, but you can totally expect that when we're doing coachings, when I'm going through VODs, from time to time, we're gonna be using the scenery, trying some different stuff. I have some projects on the horizon too. I hope you guys are excited because the new season's coming and we're getting really ready for the new season. I have a lot of stuff coming for next season. But yeah, without further ado, you'll see more of the scenery later. It's time to go into Angry Niece.
A summoner has disconnected. A summoner has reconnected. Your turret has been destroyed.
how do you resolve the issue that marijuana laws have on the criminal justice system?
Well, one thing that you need to do, the other major factor that you need to do is you need to take it out of the DEA's hands to do scheduling, because I think that's like the dumbest thing in the planet is the
Huge conflict of interest, yeah.
Yeah, the primary law enforcement agency is the one responsible for determining, you know, what you can and cannot use, regardless of its medical usage, which is a huge issue because then, you know, the DEA can actually supersede the science, which is what it did with weed for a number of years, and still kind of continues to do to a certain extent. So, and we're seeing the same thing a little bit with mushrooms and LSD and some of the other stuff for PTSD treatments and ketamine.
It's still crazy to me that just because of the the names of the drugs and because of the DNA and everything, people will still refer to things like, I don't do like hard drugs like acid. It's like, bro, what are you talking about?
Acid is 100% a hard drug. What do you mean?
Acid is a lighter drug than like fucking alcohol. What do you mean?
Are you talking about in scheduling or like in reality?
In reality.
You're joking right
fucking now. LSD? It's like fucking mushrooms.
You're trolling me.
You're okay. Never mind. So there you go. Dan is
you're actually.
Dan is a victim. There it is. There he is.
You are you are so stupid. So to you, acid is less hard of a drug than alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely. Easy.
Okay.
That's
okay.
That's
I want to pull this out. You're not remedial. You're retarded.
Lex watches my stream an ungodly amount. So okay, can we chill on the retards?
I'm sorry. I don't know. There was no other way for me to say that.
There isn't, but you know what? You gotta respect Destiny's newfound belief. That he wholeheartedly accepts.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
What is
how do you justify it?
How do you say what is a okay? Wait. Let's wait. Let's do this. Wait. Let's do this. Okay. What is a hard drug to you? Talk to me about what you mean by a hard drug.
Okay, I'll list some hard drugs in my opinion.
No, I want you to tell me what a hard drug is.
You want me to just use one? Heroin.
Okay. Why? No. Why are you? I'm asking you what is a hard drug to you? Or no, hold on. Maybe I'm misphrasing that. Like, what constitutes a hard? What makes something a hard drug?
I think a hard drug is something where the class of people that take that drug end up having an inability to have a good life as a result of
let me help you out.
No, don't help him out. Why are you helping him out?
I don't need help.
Because I want a productive discussion on it. I don't want.
Well, no, I want to dunk on Dan because Dan is doing the fucking
he wants a dunk on it. He wants to do his fucking GME. Like, well, technically, you can't close the synthetics. Fucking yeah. Okay, go. No, you're right, Steve. Acid is a lighter drug than alcohol. I'm wrong. My bad. Sorry. No, you're right. You're right. We can just go. You're right. You're right.
Okay.
When you're right, you're right. Acid is lighter than alcohol.
Here are some things that I think of when I think of like how hard a drug is. Okay? I think of like addictiveness. I think of like negative long and short-term health effects. And I think of like what are the chances to OD on a drug? Those are something that I would think about when I think about like a hard drug. So you brought up heroin. Heroin is highly addictive. There are both short and long-term health consequences, and the chance for overdosing on heroin is fairly high. That would be a hard drug, I would agree. For alcohol can be quite addictive. It has negative long-term health effects, and there is a moderate chance of overdose. So alcohol, I would think, would be kind of a harder.
If you took acid as much as I took alcohol, you would be a walking glass of orange juice.
But you don't take acid as much as you take
alcohol.
Why not?
Why not? Because it's so hard that you can't do it more than once a fucking week?
Because you won't want to, because it's not as addictive.
Oh, so no one's ever wanted to take acid more than once a week. Okay, cool. Good to know.
There are, I mean, like, I'm sure you could find some people. You also find people that OD on cough syrup. But I mean, like, you don't typically,
not on cough syrup, but
you don't take acid multiple times a week. That's just not how you use that drug. You just don't. People that do acid don't do it like 2 or 3 times a week. But there are people that drink every single day, and I think that's good. There's also like a decent tolerance to things that hit on that is it the HRT5 receptor, whatever the fuck it is.
Don't you pull out fucking science figures trying to look smart. You are the fucking degenerate who said that acid is lighter than fucking it doesn't matter.
Alcohol. Yeah, easy, of course. That's the
No, you're actually it's actually so far removed. You are sucking your own dick of like fucking legal bullshit to be like, well, technically, if you look at the DSM statistics, alcohol has a 34.8%. No, it's just acid is definitely a hard drug. And if you think that it's not, you are You're lost.
Okay,
You're
here's
lost.
a question. If we legalized acid, do you think more people would die or continue to die from alcohol or acid?
I think more people would die from alcohol.
Okay. Do you think that there'd be more negative long-term health effects from acid or alcohol?
Well, I think. Do we want to go per capita?
Sure.
Then acid would have more.
Okay, what are the
more issues.
long-term negative health effects of acid?
Of people who do acid, I would think that that's, like, in my mind, a hard enough drug that it would indicate that not only are you going to be doing other drugs, like someone who's willing to do acid, which is not most people, by the way. Okay, I don't know what % of people have done acid, but the fact that you're willing to do acid probably means that you're living a high-risk lifestyle. But not only that, I think that it can certainly bring about psychosis and other mental health issues that you wouldn't get from casual drinking.
You were making the same argument that people made about marijuana, and we're going through a reconciliation.
I think Dan might be drunk right now.
Well,
you're
Dan,
delusional.
Dan, here's the thing.
Oh my God!
It was back in the day. There was always a grain of
educated.
There was a grain of truth to people who said that pot is a gateway drug, but it wasn't a gateway drug. It was that more people who are willing to try pot are likely to be into trying some other drugs.
Okay.
But that it doesn't work. That's not really the case. It doesn't mean that because you do pot, you're going to suddenly start escalating to heroin. It was just.
I do, and I will.
Well, yeah, Steven, but otherwise, yeah. So that we're having this kind of reconciliation on psychedelics, where we're learning more about them and realizing they aren't the hard drugs we've always considered them. But here's someone's like tripping on acid and always doing shrooms. For a long time, it was kind of like the same mindset people had. Someone says they snort coke and shoot up heroin. But we're learning more about these drugs. What is the I don't know. Does LSD have the same effects as mushrooms, Steven, when it comes to diminishing returns?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to understand the addictive properties of LSD,
True.
the diminishing returns.
True.
And do you have any studies, Dan, on the actual long-term?
Like, and
mental
you are
health
so obnoxiously obnoxious. I don't even know what to fucking say right now.
Why am I obnoxious?
It's just
I'm
you
engaging
are.
in a
It's
legitimate
acid.
conversation.
It's
Oh
got a
my
scary
God.
name. Do you know what else has acid? The alien blood from the movie Aliens.
Oh, my
okay.
God.
It's
I can't like it. I can't.
All right.
Like it.
I'll
It's
leave
a
you guys to it.
super spooky drug.
I
I got sucked into this fucking argument that technically, if you look at it, no, it's just so. I feel like I'm being trolled.
Technically, if you look at it, well, okay, fine. Dan is right.
No, move it the fuck on. It is so unbelievably
Okay,
stupid. I can't engage. I
If you
can't.
look at it from every single angle, sure, alcohol is definitely
Fuck
worse
off
than
from every
acid.
single angle. It's because if I take fucking acid right now, okay, any amount, for the most part, I'm fucked. Okay?
You're
fucked.
gonna be a
literally
little bit,
fucked.
Sure, you might be a little bit out of it, especially
No,
between
not
hours like 2
a little
and
bit
5.
out of it. I might like actually have like. Let me put it this way: I can never smoke pot again. Okay, and to a certain extent, it took you so long to be able to smell one fucking time, smoke one time again because of your bad experience with fucking mushrooms. Okay,
Sure,
so
because
I don't know why you're saying why.
Because I used it in inappropriate amount. But there's a reason why there's not Acids Anonymous.
Okay, there's okay.
You're saying that like I can never do acid again. There's people
You
that
use
start
it in
drinking
an appropriate
again, they're
amount.
gonna
I think
fucking
that
kill
that is a important part of something being fucking dangerous or not.
Oh, true. Okay,
Like,
so who uses things in inappropriate amounts? Psychedelics or alcohol more? What do you think, Dan?
I think that in
college
most
kids
cases you
binge
can
drinking
certainly
every
die
fucking
from
weekend?
taking anything. You can die from taking anything in a huge amount.
Anything?
No fucking doubt.
Oh, so how many people are ODing on marijuana, Dan?
Well, I mean, you could probably smoke enough marijuana if you took what is it? Not the resin, the concentrate. Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, you think so, Dan? Okay.
Yeah, I think absolutely you can. I mean, it would have to be a lot. You can definitely die from concentrate.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Wait, do you think that's not true?
I don't know, Dan. Good question.
If you took like a fucking 100,000 milligrams or whatever the fuck it is of concentrate, you think you're gonna be like
100,000 of anything will probably kill you.
Oh, okay, so you can fucking die on it. All right, well, good to know.
Water is gonna be toxic at lower levels than that.
I don't want to engage in this fucking just absolutely brain dead thing anymore. It's so stupid.
Okay, so Dan is reason. There it is. Dan's the prime case for why marijuana is still a Schedule 1.
Good. I'm glad. We outnumber you fucking degenerates. Thank Christ. You are a super stalker. That's you. You're like, well, Dan, you have no good arguments. Okay, tell me why marijuana is not better or worse than alcohol. You don't. You lose. As soon as the synthetic's clear, we're gonna win. Just God, so stupid, so dumb. And I have you, Lycan, of all fucking people in here, probably pegged to your fucking stock chart right now, like, oh yeah, that was a good one. I went up 2 points. God, I can't stand all of you.
Why are you looking at my stocks? How'd you know they went up 2 points?
What? I'm not looking at your fucking stocks, you degenerate. I'm saying that you're looking at them.
I'm not. I come in here and I have the same conversation that I would. I'm sorry that I'm doing well. I apologize.
Oh, yeah. All right, Lycan.
You know, the thing you could have said, Dan, is that there aren't as many people using LSD. We don't have enough information on it. You could have said it's not as normalized. We don't know.
All right, Lycan. Well, I'm going to come to you all with my hot takes moving forward, all right?
Dan is like going into the fucking... He's going into the drug rehab place and he's like, this isn't the room for people being rehabilitated from being addicted to mushrooms and acid, right? I'm trying to find the one for fucking alcohol and heroin. And they're like, oh no, this is the psychedelic room, okay? There's a lot of serious addicts over here. Like, okay.
I am not. You guys are actually... You're...
I'm responsible for this. I just want some business idea with you, and I'm sorry that it's involved in you.
I will never go into business with you as a result of this, Lycan. Because now I know how artistic you are. And that is the warning sign. I'm going with my gut on that.
Dan is a victim of reefer madness. True.
Yeah, I had too much. It fucked me up. That's how I know.
Yeah.
It could happen to anyone. It happened to you, too.
It did. I did take too much.
I know.
But look at me, I'm fine. You know what happens when you take too much alcohol? You know where those people are, Dan?
Where?
6 feet under.
All of... Well, rip. They didn't know. They couldn't handle their liquor. Not good. Not good at all.
So, I'm sorry, I derailed. I just came here to talk about,
No, it's good. We needed to have this conversation. We needed to see what Dan thought about it.
Well, I regret nothing. I'm glad.
I'm glad people see the real Dan.
Yeah. I feel good about it as well. I hope that we have longer prison sentences for people to get caught with acid. In fact, I think that should be the death penalty right there. Acid or mushrooms, that's it. Your kids get taken away, life in jail.
It is.
Not even in prison, in jail.
That's
in jail.
insanely hard drug.
The hardest, actually. It is. St. Alien.
Have you seen their blood?
Yeah, it's green.
Do you know what happens when you get acid on your hands? You die. It melts your shit.
Well, you don't necessarily die, but you will lose your hands, for sure.
True.
I mean, we've all heard that story of the guy who took too much, and he's walking around to this day thinking he's a glass of orange juice.
Oh, true.
Not good. I don't want my kids walking around thinking that they're orange juice.
Absolutely.
So it has to be stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Mm-hmm.
No need, Dan. Just give them the acid and they'll kill themselves. True. It is very dangerous.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. A lot of people take acid and commit suicide. It's a very real phenomenon. Yeah. Horrible.
Yeah.
Very sad to see.
What else? I fucking hate this stock shit so fucking much.
It's just, who cares, Dan?
No, not about that. Just my fucking replies are all doing it like, oh, the short squeeze is coming. Buy while it's low. Like, dude, just it's made shit just get so juvenile and stupid. It's ruined DGG for me.
How's it?
Yeah. My misspeaks. I don't want to see them plotted out on a fucking graph. It has to. Now it's like coming organically. You know, I'm gonna have to time them correctly. Not good. Not good. Okay. What else?
You have any new revelations about Israel and Palestine since you were over there?
Hello, my dears. Welcome
or
welcome back to my channel. So today's
Do you want to be a breeder? Or do you want to have a life?
It's fear of not having accomplished anything in your life. I better get married so at least I have kids that will cry at my funeral.
When you don't have a purpose, when your life is like very empty, but you know that you have to like manufacture some type of drive.
I mean, look at me. I got no brain, I got no options, I got no talents, but this woman fell in love with me and wanted kids. I can make another me.
David Goggins, his thing is to like what, physically punish himself to just be a good runner and a podcaster.
Ain't no smart people having kids. Good God, wake up, people.
Low agreeableness with low extroversion, with low religiousness is negatively associated with having children.
Well, why don't you do something with your life that you'll be proud of? Accomplish something great.
Hey guys, good morning. Hey, good morning. What's up, everyone? Time to get up, face the day, eat, train, sleep.
Maybe that's a bit better.
I wanted to do a video about the fear of dying alone. And this is one of those things that at the end of the day, a lot of men fall prey to. I've even heard a quote from Jack Nicholson where he talks about being afraid to die alone. And Jack Nicholson's like an uber successful, very rich, very charismatic actor. He can probably have any woman he wants. And here he is being afraid to die alone. First of all, you need to understand that everyone dies alone. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need to make peace with the fact that you're going to die alone. Even if you're married, what is your wife going to do? You're going to be having like a heart attack in the middle of the night. She's going to be screaming, oh my God, and calling 911. And let's say, you're in the hospital. Your wife isn't going to be there 24/7. She could leave to go do something. You could die while she's at the 7-Eleven getting changed for a 20 or something like that. You could still die alone. The whole concept of not dying alone, but that getting married is somehow the solution to not dying alone is completely stupid. You're going to die alone because you are an individual organism.
You, my friends, you're looking for a place to settle down and have a family. Let's use the real words.
Let's go.
I'm looking to settle down and shut my life down completely for 18 years. You don't have anything of your own anymore. You don't have any free time. That's fine. If you want to sacrifice, I mean sacrifice, you might as well take the years from when the child is born until they're 18. If that's what you want, then damn it. Have at it, people. I didn't want that. All of my children were accidents.
There was an interesting study by Avison and Furnham on this, and they looked at the personality traits of the kind of people who don't have children. And what they found is that wanting to remain childless, being voluntarily childless, is associated with low agreeableness, with low extroversion, with low religiousness, and if you are an early adopter of this attitude, i.e. if at a very early age you decide you don't want to have children, with high openness.
I'm hanging with it. I knew this was happening. I didn't have any goals for me. I mean, look at me. I got no brain, I got no options, I got no talents, but this woman fell in love with me and wanted kids. I can make another me. Or you got a life, you got talents. You got to sacrifice that for a kid. Who's willing to do that? Nobody. And yet when you have a kid, you got to, and then you are miserable and you resent your wife, the kid, your life.
Men who want to have children have an IQ of 100. Men who don't want to have children have an IQ of 104.3. So something about being highly intelligent makes you not want to have children. Moving on from research, Skirkbeck found that in Norway, since 1957, but not before it, being neurotic, high neuroticism, that is to say mental instability, among men is negatively associated with having children. People tend to get married later and have children later and so on. And so this allows women to be more sort of picky, if you like, and to sort of not have to get married very quickly. And so they're more able to avoid mentally unstable men. And so mentally unstable men don't end up getting married. Well, what's going on here? Well, one of the things that predicts doing well in the world of education, and of course also is associated at point 3 with intelligence, is simply intellect. So you're interested in ideas, you're interested in theoretical things, and all this. And you can see how having children that wouldn't be
that wouldn't be congruous with those kinds of interests. That would take away time from intellectual pursuits and all the kinds of fascinating things you would want to do. And so you can see how intelligence and education, in that sense, would militate against wanting to have children.
What is wrong with you millennials? I mean, who told you these lies? Do you want to be a breeder, or do you want to have a life? I mean, if that's the only question. If you want to be a breeder, then you goddamn well better be a good parent and realize, because if you're thinking you're going to have fun while your kid's out in the field, you are not going to be a good parent. A good parent realizes, I'm losing 18 years of my life, but I'm leaving a legacy. Okay, that's a good parent. If you think, oh, it's going to be okay, don't have kids. Good God, people. No. So you're one of two things. You want a life and a career, and you want to become something, or you want to be a breeder. That's your job. Sit there and pop out children. Those are called breeders. There's only options, people. Not an option of having a kid and making it work for you. No. It's of having a kid and making it work for the kid.
Yeah.
End of story.
How has this happened, basically? Well, with regard to the materialism thing, one possibility is what we will call an evolutionary mismatch. So this is the idea that we are evolved to play for status, but we are not evolved to be this rich. Becoming this rich has happened so quickly that we're not adapted to it. And so, as a consequence, we continue playing for status, even in a situation of being as wealthy as this. And the only way we can begin to win this battle for status is by reducing our fertility to the extent, perhaps, of not even having any children at all. Problem with this is that this happens always. This has happened in Rome. This has happened in Greece. This is something that's happened throughout civilization. Now, if you're familiar with John Calhoun's mouse experiment, what he shows is that if you take away evolution, essentially, you take away Darwinian conditions, then what eventually happens is that you have this build-up of mutant genes that would have otherwise been washed out under conditions of Darwinian selection. And the result is that the males become increasingly feminine, the females become increasingly masculine, and thus neither want to breed. And among those with whom this doesn't happen, the normal systems which help make mice optimally adaptive break down. The mice are thrown out of their nest too young by these aggressive mothers. They don't develop proper social skills. They don't end up breeding. No one ends up breeding, and the colony collapses and everyone dies out.
It seems like Japan might be the kind of the best place in the world then, because none of them are having kids.
There are no breeders in Japan. Good God. All right, they're smart. Ain't no smart people having kids. Good God, wake up, people. Yes, Japanese aren't having kids because they're intelligent. No, well, come on. In Africa, of course, they're having babies. They have the lowest education in the world. They have the lowest access to truth. They have the lowest options for life. So what are you going to do? Nothing, no way to get ahead, so your only option is to breed, and so you breed.
Yeah, it's not really working out for them very well.
No, it's not working out for anybody with children.
The next issue which predicts breeding is what's called K strategy. How you live life can be conceived of as a spectrum between a fast life history strategy and a slow life history strategy. In a context in which the ecology is unstable yet relatively easy, then the solution is to live fast and die young, because you need to pass on your genes as quickly as possible, and investing all your energy in copulation, and investing therefore very little energy in nurture. You don't really nurture the children. Then things start to change. You reach the carrying capacity, and members of the species start to compete against each other. How do they compete against each other? They do this by going for quality over quantity. They invest more energy in the offspring. They invest more in nurture, such that the offspring can survive the harsh yet predictable ecology. As this happens, of course, nurture will be better able to nurture if you're higher in traits like agreeableness and conscientiousness, which is rule following. And so this thing of agreeableness and conscientiousness and what's called general factor of personality, which is being highly pro-social, tends to go together with a K strategy, with a so-called slow life history strategy.
Now, beyond simply dying alone, what are we really talking about? We're talking about having loved ones around you that validate your life, that let you know that you'll be missed and remembered and that your life was worth living. That's what you really want. It's not having someone in the room with you as you die. It's knowing that your life meant something. Think about this. The Wright brothers, the brothers who invented flight, never married. Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, Beethoven, they never married. Do we remember them? Do you know who I'm talking about when I say those names? You probably do. Their lives had meaning. Family is not the end-all be-all of your life's existence and meaning. Your life can have meaning either way. I think it's fear of not having accomplished anything in your life. And you think like, oh, well, I haven't accomplished anything in my life. I better get married so at least I have kids that will cry at my funeral. Well, why don't you do something with your life that you'll be proud of? Accomplish something great.
I think that to have a purpose in life or to have meaning in life, you actually have to have something that's like meaningful or purposeful or whatever. You can't just start from zero with nothing and like manufacture a sense of purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a when you don't have a purpose, when your life is like very empty, but you know that you have to like manufacture some type of drive.
Yes.
David Goggins, his thing is to like physically punish himself for nothing, to just be a good runner and to be a podcaster. This guy's, you got to show up if you want to get it done. I looked at his thing and like right away, without looking deeply into it, there was some long post about how like the pandemic traumatized me. I spent the entire year indoors. I was totally like that's this is why he's in his pajamas in a robe, doing these songs. And then in the background he has the raw joints weed thing, and he's got a beer on the keyboard. So he's just abusing substances, being a slob in his pajamas, and making videos with these songs with fake motivation.
Yes.
Hollow.
I want to hear nothing from you.
Flimsy motivation.
You'll pay rent.
I would rather hear somebody say that. I would rather like Elliot Manifesto. Like really, like that to me, that has more purpose than what this guy's doing. Like that's a terrible thing, but in a way that's more. I mean, that's much more significant than you got to get out of bed. So let's go. Let's do this. Let's smash the day. Smash the day.
20 years. Just hang on. 20 years. You won't need to have any more kids, all right?
I feel like you know something.
And the Japanese will be the first to implement this because they're smart people. They know. Do you want a life? Or do you want kids? Pick one. The Japanese chose life.
you